everybody. Welcome to Modern Era Fitness Podcast. I'm Caleb, a martial arts instructor, and with me, as usual,
Mike, personal trainer.
Yeah, and my buddy.
Oh,
What's up, buddy?
hey, dude.
Oh, how's things?
Really good. Playing a lot of Dash Quest.
Uh-oh.
Best game ever.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
We're jumping into Nerd Alert real early.
Yay!
And it's not me this time.
Yeah, it's good. It's getting in the way of training people, so I need to put it down. Like, yeah, good set, whatever. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. I just leveled. Well,
Yeah, it's been a good
that's
week.
Cool. Yeah.
Things are going well.
Good.
Nothing cool and exciting happening. What about you?
It's been interesting having. So our kids program hasn't been around for a super long time.
Uh-huh.
Like, we started at the tail end of the school year and had most of the summer, and now school started, and it's really interesting to see the energy change in kids that have been at school all day and then come here. That's just an observation over the last couple of weeks. It's not really something that's exciting, but
Yeah.
it really goes to show that what you put out during the day can affect your fun time too.
What do you mean?
Working an 8-hour job and then doing your
yes.
hobby. Like, if I think we can all agree, if we could, we wouldn't be working an 8 to 10 or a 8 to 10. Yikes.
Yeah.
That's either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
If we could focus on our hobby with the amount of energy that we put into our daily have-to-dos,
Uh-huh.
how much more progress we could make. I'm just thinking about things, man.
That's
Thinking about life.
That is the thing right there.
Yeah.
That's like the struggle. If I just didn't have to work 8 hours a day, then I could get really good at this
Yeah.
and do a lot more and do a lot more better. Mo better.
Mo better, no problems.
Mo better, no problems.
Yeah. Huh.
What? Huh, what?
Just pondering.
Huh.
Pondering.
Huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
Are you going to have any kids? Because you were pretty much just making dad noises right now.
you would, yeah.
Mhm.
From one dad to a not dad. Is that the checked out dad noise, or is that something else?
Those are just dad noises.
Okay, I'm gonna make a dad noise, and you have to interpret it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go. Good one. Things are going just right. You just finished the day of work and you're home. It's not dinner time yet, but things are going well.
Okay.
You're glad to be done with work.
So it's a positive.
Yeah.
Positive. Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, that's what you just said.
Okay. Okay. How about this one?
Oh, you're pissed. Something's not going right. I don't know what, but you ain't happy.
Okay. One last one.
Okay.
This is going to be a hard one.
Okay. Oh, poor guy.
Is it good or is it a bad one?
Oh, you're exhausted with all the bullshit you got to put up with at your job.
Oh.
Then you come home and there's poop all over the walls and things are just going bad. I'm sorry.
Whose poop is it?
It's not yours, but you don't know whose it is.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
That was the best intro we've ever had. Dad noises.
Oh my gosh.
Dad noises from a guy who ain't a dad.
Yeah. But to answer your question, maybe someday.
Oh.
We don't have kids yet, but
Because maybe means yes.
we probably.
You're probably
I don't want to get
You're
into
probably
it.
trying.
No. We'll probably have kids.
Okay.
Kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty on the
Yeah.
podcast of
No.
our conversations about kids and stuff.
Let me be clear. No deets.
Yeah.
That's details for all you non-lingo people out there.
Yeah. So,
I call sandwiches Sammy's.
Sammy's. Well, that's cute.
All right, enough about what I call things and my refusal to follow the dictionary.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
It's almost like you're from Australia. They shorten everything into funny little words. Like they call elderly or old people oldies.
Oldies?
They call them oldies, and they call breakfast brekkie.
Oh.
You know, that kind of thing.
I call breakfast breaky sometimes. Breaky?
Same thing, just different accent.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, you asked me a question earlier. What was that question?
What do you do in a fight?
Yeah.
No. It was how do you
like
get
that.
an edge, the upper hand in a fight?
Not how to get in a fight.
No. Okay, let's say I'm in a bar.
That's pretty
and there's
easy.
just two guys coming at me, and there's no way out, and I have to fight. What do I do?
Getting in a fight is the easy part. So, okay. Taking it back to the very beginning of a scenario, you shouldn't be getting in a fight. At all costs. Do not get in a fight, people. Even if you think you can win, don't get in a fight. Listen to our episode on pride versus arrogance. Arrogant people are anxious to fight.
Well, you don't understand. This guy looked at my wife. He looked at her, dude.
How dare he, with his eyeballs open.
Oh, I just hate him.
Oh, man. Okay.
So he asked for it.
Yeah, it seems like he's asking for a fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm obviously right here.
So what we're going to talk about today is setting the stage. It's a non-life-threatening fight, meaning it's not like somebody with a gun is coming at you and crazy, right?
Or there's not a knife in their hand.
Right. It's a scenario where maybe you're at your local watering hole and somebody just wants to show off for their girl, and so they are insisting on a fight. And you've done everything that you can to avoid the fight and kind of de-escalate the situation, but for whatever reason you're locked in. Like this dude or dudette is not letting you go, and you're going to have to fight. Like they've already escalated it, and it's getting physical. They're pushing, and they're about ready to start swinging. And so you have to do something.
Uh-huh.
You with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of new ways to say, does that make sense? Because I think if you listen to the last episode of the 45th Parallel podcast with Tony, and Bentley Michaels, they said really quickly, does that make sense? And then they both laughed at it, and Bentley said, that's just an inside joke. And I think it's because we both say that all the time.
Oh!
So I'm putting them on blast because I think I deciphered their inside joke, but maybe not. I don't know.
That's not Nerd Alert yet.
No.
I mean, it's pretty nerdy, but...
Yeah, so I'm on to you guys.
Apparently I should listen to that podcast, too.
Don't say that, because I'm going to edit that out.
No, don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that part, yes, but...
Yeah. And this.
And this. And that.
Maybe I won't edit that out now.
This is awesome.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so you're in a fight. You can't get out of it. You tried.
And it's not lethal. And
it's not a lethal situation where somebody is holding a knife to your throat or a gun to your head or anything like that. Your
spit it out.
Your upper hand. There's just so many thoughts going through my mind right now.
I could tell.
It's like, how do you boil down a 5-year curriculum into
how do I build
a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So really, your defense in this fight should have happened well before the fight even started. And what I mean by that is knowing your environment, knowing where the exits are, and kind of seeing how people are grouped up and who is acting drunk and acting provocative
fighty
in not a sexy way.
Yeah.
Fighty is a good way to put it. Who looks like they're super fighty? And you can usually tell because they usually have an afflicted T-shirt or a tap out T-shirt or a beanie or something like that on.
Or Hood's Martial Arts Academy.
Ooh, so fighty. So pay attention to your exits, and that goes for anywhere and everywhere you go. Even not bars. Why are you laughing? What's so funny?
I just love where this is going.
Well, it's kind of like in your self-defense or your defense pistol training that you're doing,
Yeah.
paying attention to exits is very, very important in that. And I just want to emphasize that because, when things go sour, you got to know how to get out of there, the area of threat, as fast as possible. And you don't want to be fumbling around trying to find an exit. You want to know where that exit is before things go bad. Because as we've talked about before, your anxiety and your adrenaline shoot up in a situation like that where there's threat of bodily harm. And it's a lot harder to find exits. And that's why, this is what I tell myself when I'm watching a movie. That's why people run upstairs when something scary is coming after them. Because they're not thinking. The adrenaline's up. And it makes for a scarier movie. It's because where else are they going to go,
Yeah. The roof.
Yeah.
You know where that goes.
Yeah.
Rooftop fight scene. Somebody falls.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or if it's a kung fu movie, they can fly to another rooftop.
There you go.
So if you don't know how to fly, don't run upstairs.
Dude, you just missed
fight.
a golden opportunity. If you don't know how to fly, come on over to Hood's Martial Arts Academy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Come see me.
He's a second-degree black belt. He can show you.
Obviously, I know how to levitate
Yeah.
by now. That's part of what second-degree test is all about.
So they're just like, okay, levitate.
Yeah.
You can do it. Oh, shit. Here you go.
Here's my belt. Okay, so know where the exits are, okay? Key one, and survey the crowd. Get an idea, a feel for the crowd. Places have vibes, okay?
They sure do.
And I don't mean that in some sort of mystical sense or vibrations of the universe or anything like that. I mean, you can tell when a party is too crazy, when you walk into it and just kind of poke around. And follow your gut instincts when it comes to that kind of stuff. If you're getting a bad feeling walking into Jammers, for instance, find another place. Might I suggest a quality place like F Stop Fitzgerald's?
Ah,
a favorite place of mine. Shout out to them. So exits and survey the crowd. Okay. Okay. But now the fight is upon us. Okay. You need to assess the person that you're engaging with. Are they drunk or are they sober? Because what you do to them will
echo through eternity.
Yes. Ooh.
Fighty.
Yeah. Because you could be held to a certain higher standard if you're sober and they're drunk. If you do something very serious to them, it's like you essentially did that to a kid, if that makes sense. Like you're taking advantage of their...
You said, does that make sense? No, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's just never use the word sense again. I just don't want to be judged by another better podcast.
Does that make understanding? Do you understand?
Do you get it?
So anyway, if you end up going to court over some sort of assault charge or something like that as a result of this altercation, if you're sober and they were drunk, you're going to be not screwed.
Yeah.
But they'll look down on you and maybe judge you a little more harshly because you should have had the wherewithal, the clarity of mind to say, okay, this person's drunk. This isn't super serious. I just need to end it and get away. Just I almost said it.
Good job. Good job.
Okay.
What's your go-to phrase?
Does that make sense?
No, it's get it.
Okay, that's going to be it from now on. Get it, and you have to say got it if you got it. Okay.
Got it.
You get it?
Got it.
All right. We're getting somewhere.
We're improving.
Yeah. And that kind of, knowing if they're intoxicated kind of plays into another point that I wanted to make, and that's understanding the aftermath of a situation like that. Get it?
Got it.
Getting a little practice.
We're being so corny and so stupid about such a serious topic.
Yeah, well,
so
we're
going to have fun with
it. So think about the future, folks. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
The last point you said about thinking about the future and what you're getting into when you're getting into it, it seems like there needs to be a lot of training behind that before it just like listening to a podcast isn't going to set you up for success. Right?
Then what have we been doing all this for?
Well, yeah, it's going to help. But as far as like, we're talking about you're in a fight now, what? Listening to a podcast isn't going to fully prepare you.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Get it?
Got it.
Good.
You're absolutely right. I don't know. I feel like you're leading me into a plug. So if you want to actually
I swear I'm
learn
not.
what to do in a fight, visit a quality martial arts instruction place or self-defense school like Hood's Martial
And where
Arts
can we
Academy.
find one of those, Caleb?
Well, let me tell you, Mike. HoodsMAA.com. Hood's Martial Arts Academy, located in Salem, Oregon.
That's not what I was getting into.
Competitive rates, quality training.
Oh.
So what are you trying to get at then?
What am I trying to make sense of?
Yeah. I don't got it.
Now, these things that we're going through, they're great to understand and they're great to practice, but when you get into this kind of situation where somebody is trying to cause harm, even if it's non-lethal, like if you're not trained for it, the heart rate is just going to skyrocket. And then what are you going to... I don't think anybody's going to remember this.
You're looking for the
episode.
nitty-gritty. Okay.
I'm not really looking for the nitty-gritty. I'm just throwing it out there like, hey, this is great and this is good
You want the
information.
violent parts.
But you're probably going to need to practice these things
Yes.
if you want to fall back on them once your heart rate skyrockets.
Yeah. Hence the training.
Hence the training.
Hence the suggestion of coming to see Hood's Martial Arts Academy, located in Salem, Oregon, hoodsmaa.com.
Gosh.
There was an opportunity, and I took
You're
it.
all about taking those opportunities, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm arrogant. What
Yeah.
can I say?
Listen to our
Anyway.
episode.
Yeah.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, pride versus
Yeah.
arrogance. To your point, a lot of this stuff people don't think about. People only think about the fight. They don't think about all the things that could help them survive a fight or give them the edge, as you put it. Being aware of your environment and what you're dealing with is going to make a huge difference. And so I just want to point that out before we start talking about the actual engagement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Dang it. Do you get it?
Got it.
Good. Okay, so we've prepped with all that. Let's see. Another environmental thing before we get to the hardcore stuff is, what can you use as a weapon? What's in your pockets? What kind of tables, chairs are you dealing with? Is there any silverware? Which there probably is. Do they have a peanut allergy? Is there a bowl of peanuts that you could throw at them?
Are there lemons
in their
behind the
nose.
bar?
Yeah. Get it in their eyes. So, you can improvise a weapon out of pretty much anything. Give me an object, and I'll tell you how to make a weapon out of it.
Okay, MacGyver. Salem Weekly newspaper.
Have them read it.
Boom, they're dead.
Toasted. Roasted. Gotcha.
They're
Gotcha,
on their way
Salem
to some
Weekly.
other awesome local event instead of bugging you.
Oh, yeah, there you go. They flip open the page to current events, and they see that there is actually today there is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Open tournament at Salem Armory. So they decide to go to that, and they are enamored by the martial arts, sign up for the program, and enrich their lives, and learn to not take out.
Be a dick.
Yeah.
I like it.
Problem solved.
So if you're in a fight, look for a Salem Weekly.
Yeah, spot your Salem Weeklies before.
Throw it at them.
Yeah, before you worry about that.
If you're in anywhere else in the world besides Salem, then you're screwed.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yep. Better hope they have peanuts. Okay, so improvised weapons. That's a good thing to have. Broomsticks are fantastic.
Edges of tables.
Yes, you can do a lot of harm on anything that has an edge. Preferably a pointy edge.
Oh.
Rounded edges aren't quite so good. And pieces of paper, even though they have an edge, isn't
Not necessarily great, yeah.
So maybe not anything. that
Heavy
has an edge.
cardstock? That can
If
be
you
more-
get it at the right angle,
Yeah.
or slice the eyeball with it.
Oh my gosh. Game over, dude. Game over.
It's making me cringe. So improvised weapons, good, great. Okay, now for the nitty-gritty. Something that is going to hopefully end a fight, because you don't want to be up in a fight for very long. The ultimate goal in life is to avoid fights. If a fight starts and you can't avoid it, end it as quickly as possible. They say that X amount of percentage of fights go down to the ground, but that's assuming that people are trying to engage in a fight for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's not a self-defense situation. That's two people wanting to brawl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The mentality should be, I don't want to be in a fight, and so I got to end this as quickly as possible before there's a chance to get down to the ground. You have a funny look in your face. What's up?
Because you said something.
What did I yes, I did.
You said, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Caleb's holding his head in his hand right now.
I let you down.
I'm having a lot of fun on this episode.
Yeah. So to end it quickly, and that doesn't necessarily mean kill the person.
Right.
Because remember, this is a non-life-threatening fight that we're set up in. And if your life is not in danger and just bodily harm, not serious or life-threatening harm, is at risk, then you should not be worrying about how to kill this person.
Yeah.
That being said, we want to think about vitals. Vitals is just a short and sweet way to talk about the things that are vitally important to that person in this fight. Not necessarily vitals. And some people interpret it this way. And if I was talking to a class of black belts, we might talk about vitals in a different sense and talk about more about actual life giving
what
and
keeps
ending.
that person alive.
Yeah. But for purposes of the bar fight, vitals are things that are going to prevent them from being able to continue in the fight. And there are three vitals that you want to pay attention to. One is their eyesight. If they can't see, then they can't hit you or chase you or anything like that. The next thing is their ability to breathe, because I guarantee you if you take that away, that's what they're concerned about then. They're no longer concerned about trying to jump you and look cool in front of their girlfriend or whatever. Or boyfriend. I don't want to, whatever.
Yeah.
And the last one is mobility, or the ability to chase you. So that way, because remember, we're talking about ending that fight soon and then getting to safety. And so if you take away their mobility and you run to safety, they can't chase after you while you're running to safety.
Yes.
Do you get that?
I got it.
Oh, that was a close one.
Oh. Felt the heat on that one.
Yeah.
So we will be right back.
Yeah. So wait. Well, we should have done that before the vitals, before the nitty gritty.
Well, we just touched on the nitty gritty. So there's going to be more.
Okay. Well, I'll give you some examples when we come back.
They're going to be really good.
So please come back.
Please go back.
Are you a fan of the paranormal, UFOs, conspiracies, or cryptids? Do you like being entertained? Then I recommend the 45th Parallel Podcast. You can find it on iTunes, your Android podcast app of choice, or Stitcher Radio. Just type in the 45th Parallel and start listening. Make sure to subscribe and rate our show so we can climb the charts and get our paranormal message out there. We hope to see you in the 45th Parallel.
Hey everybody, this is Mike from Northwest Forge. I'm a personal trainer and boot camp instructor in the greater Salem area. If you're interested, check us out at www.northwestforge.org. Or you can check us out on social media, Instagram or Twitter at Northwest Forge. Hope to see you soon.
All right. Well, those were some great quality ads from great quality companies. Did you hear that one ad about that great company, Mike?
Yes.
Wasn't it great?
It was pretty good.
Aren't you going to buy said product?
I'm going to buy that thing.
Yeah.
So we're talking about vitals.
Yeah, vitals. Welcome back, and we're talking about vitals. Vitals just to recap, because we just had a fantastic commercial break, vitals are things that are vitally important to your opponent in a fight, meaning if you take one or all of the vitals away, the fight is done. Yes. And that doesn't necessarily mean because they're dead.
Right.
So, first one I mentioned is the eyes. It's pretty obvious. Anything you can stick in an eye. Fingers, pencils, keys. It's pretty gross. Yeah. And you can do some pretty serious harm to somebody, including life-threatening. But, you know, in a situation like that, I got to be real careful how I put this, because if somebody goes out and ends up using this and ends up killing somebody, I don't want to be held liable.
Yeah.
Well, he said it on the. I learned it from this podcast.
Caleb said I could poke him in the eye with my
knife.
Tire iron.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Just poke him in the eye with your finger.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. But
Okay.
you can still kill somebody from doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
Vitals.
Yeah. So poke them in their eye, take away their vision, then they can't see to swing at you. You know, eyeballs. The other thing about vitals that people should understand, why they're so important to understand, is because no matter how tough and how much the person works out, they never get bigger or stronger. Eyeballs don't get bigger from working out. They maybe bug out more, and you can get to them easier, but they don't get stronger and more resistant or resilient to fingers.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. It's same thing with the next one, the breathing. A fantastic target for breathing, obviously, is the neck, the front of the neck. Pretty much any sort of blunt force to that will do the trick. Again, you have to be careful. You're not trying to take this person's life away. You're just trying to get them to stop. Solar plexus, knock the wind out of somebody, or just under the solar plexus. People don't really think about that necessarily as a target if you're not trained, but just below the solar plexus is where the diaphragm is, and the diaphragm is the muscle that helps inflate and deflate the lungs. And if you knock that and it starts to spasm, which is a lot of times what happens when somebody has the breath knocked out of them, it causes a panic in your opponent, and then they're more concerned about with getting their breath back than harming you. So that diaphragm, it's kind of a flattish muscle that kind of arcs a little bit, kind of sits underneath the ribs and up a little bit. It's punch hard, kick hard, right in there. That's a good one. And the last vital, another good one, and this one, if you're concerned about legal ramifications, this one's probably the most safe one that you can do in terms of not going to prison. And that is the mobility. And obviously, the knee.
Yeah.
The knee is, again, going back to the fact that you can't build a knee stronger through working out. You can, the supporting muscles around it, you can strengthen through squats and things like that, and lunges and all that. But the knee itself, the structure itself, does not get stronger. And if you plow right through that with a good solid kick, depending on where the person's weight is, you can make that knee bend the wrong way, and then find that exit that you already located and head through it.
Yeah.
They will not be able to come after you.
Yikes.
Just think about the things that would hurt you and prevent you from continuing in a fight, and use that on the other person. And if you're just looking for simple stuff, a knee is not a very high kick. So if you just look in a full-size mirror in your house, and you can find them for pretty inexpensive at Walmart, Bi-Mart, anything like that, if you don't have one already, find a full-length mirror, look at yourself, pretend that yourself is an opponent, and practice kicking to that knee, your own knee level. And that's going to be more effective than 80% of the population, because people aren't thinking about that. People haven't practiced that kick. So if you do it, 10 times a day, which takes you 2 seconds to do, just stomping through that knee or kicking through that knee, you're going to be ahead of the curve relative to other people. For the eyes, like I said, eye poke, any finger you want, any way you want. It doesn't even have to be both eyes. You know, you don't have to do the Three Stooges thing.
Yeah.
Just dig a thumb in there. You can even do that. And, you know, I mentioned the throat, the sternum, the diaphragm. Good solid punch. And again, practice all those in the mirror. So the eye poke, you can just pretend like you're poking yourself in the eye in the mirror. So that way you get a general idea of where the hand needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of starts to work into muscle memory, because that's what you're going to need in a fight is muscle memory. Because like Mike and I have both said already, when you're in a stressful situation like that with threat of physical harm, your anxiety and your adrenaline shoot up and your senses narrow. And so thinking outside of the box becomes less of an option. Your awareness becomes less of an option. That's why it pays to be aware beforehand. And practicing these things in a mirror and getting that muscle memory, because your body will then make that its reaction or its reflex, you know. And that's kind of what we're all about. And that's why martial arts programs and self-defense programs are good. Yeah, but you can get started in your own home, just full-length mirror, kick to the knee, poke the eyes, maybe punch at throat level, punch at solar plexus or just below, over and over.
Right on. It's almost anticlimactic.
It really is. You just need to know these few things.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you drill it, the better you'll be, the better your chances will get.
Uh-huh.
Having an idea is better than being totally clueless. So even if you listen to this podcast, you're going to be ahead of a lot of people. If you drill it, you'll be way ahead. If you sign up for a program, you'll be far, far ahead. Way down there. Ahead.
So far ahead. Levitating.
Yeah, levitating.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to close up, but any questions about any of that stuff? Anything not make sense?
It all makes sense. This is what works, you know?
Yeah.
And this is what you, as the professional, is saying, like, actually, you don't need to focus on all this flashy stuff and, like, the block and the da-da-da and the da-da-da. It's like, go for these things.
Yeah.
Have a simple, effective offensive on targets that are always available. Yep. Like, if somebody is causing harm to you, congratulations, their throat is right there in front of you. Yeah. Their eyes are right there, and they're visible and they're exposed.
Yep. There's something to be said. When you're in a fight and you intend to be in a fight for a longer amount of time, like, say, UFC or whatever, your fighting style is more important in those scenarios than in a self-defense scenario. You can, play with the idea, am I a defensive fighter, an aggressive fighter, where you're at in that spectrum. But in a self-defense situation, your job is to end it as quickly as possible, and you have to be aggressive.
Yes.
If somebody's coming at you in a self-defense situation and meaning to do you harm, you don't want to just defend, because they're going to keep coming at you, and eventually they're going to succeed.
Yeah.
So you want to be proactive. You want to eliminate the threat as quickly as possible, and that means being aggressive.
Press the fight.
Yes. Put the pressure. Do not give up your space. And with that, how can people get a hold of us, Mike, if they want to ask us questions or continue the conversation, as people like to say on podcasts, about this subject?
So email us at modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com or get at us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, at MEF Podcast.
Yeah. Find us on Facebook. Give us a like, share, review, all that good stuff. And thanks for listening, guys and gals. We really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next week. But in the meantime, remember to live in a good place, keep your mind deep, and work when it's time.
Hey, everybody. Are you tired of sucking?
I like where you're going with that.
Are you a piece of shit?
If you answered yes.
Are you a piece of shit, but you have a lot of money? Sign up for our freemium.